Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another in our series of teacher interviews. Today, we have the privilege of speaking to our PE teacher, Mr. Sam McEleney. Sam, thanks for coming.
Yep.
So, my first question, as we ask all our guests, who are you? Who's Sam McEleney, and what should we know about you?
I'm Sam. I was born and raised here in Clinton, Iowa. I went to Clinton High School, and then I went to St. Ambrose for my bachelor's degree for college. I'm the youngest of 4 boys by a long shot. I'm the youngest. My next closest brother is about 8 years older than me. So got picked on a lot when I was little and everything, but I like to think it made me tougher. But yeah, that's about it. Grew up here.
Pretty good. I didn't know that about you. So I'm the youngest of 4 boys as well, and there's a 7-year gap between me and the other, the other 3. So, same idea. So that's interesting. Yeah, it's kind of, you're almost like an only child a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you graduated, last May?
Yep.
From St. Ambrose? Yeah, yep. Okay. So why, and we'll get to kind of your lifelong career plans in a little bit, but why become a teacher this year?
So, like you said, there's a little backstory to it, but I never thought of myself of being a teacher. But when I was going through school, I always thought hey, being a teacher would be awesome. You know, you get summers off. It's super easy, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, it's super easy. You know, you get all this time off during the year. And then, so I always kind of wanted to do it in the back of my mind, but I never, saw myself doing something like that for the rest of my life. And then the opportunity came up for here at Prince of Peace, and I thought, being a PE teacher with my degree in exercise science, I thought they kind of went 2 and 2. It would be something that would be an easy, transition for me to do, and the opportunity came up this year for me to be the teacher, and I took it.
Good. So, and in full transparency, and all due respect to our friends at St. Joe's, you were offered a position there as well.
Yeah.
And we just snatched you away.
Offered.
So I hope you guys are okay at St. Joe's. We have to look out for our own school first. But we're glad to have you here. So as a first-year teacher, what are some of the things that have surprised you about teaching and working with kids and all that?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, I thought being a teacher would be such an easy job and everything. It surprised me how hard it is, even for PE class, to lesson plan and have things for the kids to do for the entire class to keep them entertained and everything. I didn't know everything that went into lesson planning and keeping all the kids under control, whether it's the kindergartners when all they want to do is just run around the whole time, or it's the middle schoolers who, maybe some of the boys don't like to play volleyball. So you kind of got to keep them motivated, hey, play volleyball. It makes it more fun for everyone else if everyone participates. So yeah, I think just the challenge of being a teacher is probably the thing that caught me the most off guard. But I'm surprised how much the kids do love being in class, especially the young kids especially. They get super excited, when we have the weird weeks where they have 3 days of gym instead of 2 days, they're all pumped up to being here. So that's something that surprised me as well.
Mm-hmm. That's good. So have you enjoyed it, would you say?
Yeah, yep. It's been great. It's been harder than I thought it would be. A little more stressful than I thought it would be, but it's been great. The kids are awesome. I can't, I'll love all the relationships I made for the rest of my life with all these kids and everything.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, I think sometimes good teachers make it look effortless, right?
Yeah.
And when you're a student, how much work is that? But there's a lot of work behind that to make it look effortless, right? Yep. So, we've talked, you have your degree, remind me, in exercise science. Yeah. And I think kind of your career aspiration, as much as you enjoy teaching, that probably wasn't your ultimate career path.
Yep.
So talk about kind of once you leave teaching, what was it like? Maybe you won't leave teaching, but I think you have some other career plans, so talk a little bit about them.
Yep, yeah. So my main goal right now is to become a physical therapist. And last year, applications didn't go through like they should, so I had this year off where I didn't have anything going on. I'm in the process of reapplying to physical therapy school right now. So yeah, that's my main goal right now, is to go to physical therapy school and be a physical therapist.
Why? Why do you want to? Obviously, you've enjoyed teaching, and that's kind of, a little side track to your path eventually, which is fine. But why physical therapy? Why do you want to do that?
So I always want to do something in the health field, and I love sports, and I love physiology and human fitness and performance and all that stuff. So, and when I did my job shadowing, I always wanted to be, a physical therapist for a college team or, even a professional sports team. But when I did my job shadowing hours in a nursing home and in other outpatient and inpatient settings, I really figured out that I like all of it. I like working with the older population, I like working with the younger kids, and I like working with athletes, whether it's elementary age kids or all the way up to college level athletes. I really just like helping people, talking through the injuries, seeing what you can do, and seeing the progress that they make is really something that is awesome. I think that's something that has played into even just short time I've been teaching so far. Seeing the progress that everyone makes is something that really keeps you going, lets you know you're doing something right.
That's great. Good. Okay, so it's time for our lightning round, and I know you've seen some of these videos, so we kind of either give you a choice or an open-ended and just kind of gut reaction. You got to give your answer. I know your family's been in the automobile business. You like cars. You have an unlimited budget. What car do you buy?
1998 Toyota Supra.
That's an interesting pick. I was expecting some like muscle car or something.
Yeah.
Like why that? Is that a muscle car? I don't even know.
No. So it's got a cast iron engine, so you can really do whatever you want to it. They say you can beat the heck out of it, and so you can out of the factory, it came with, I think around like 300 horsepower, and people can get 1,000 horsepower very easily with making minimal changes to the actual internals of the engine.
Interesting. Okay, I'll have to look that one up. I don't know that car. Should college athletes be paid?
I think so, yes. Okay. Yep. I think as long as you are bringing in revenue, whether as a team or as an individual, I think that at college, if you're putting their number on the backside of a jersey, I think they should see some part of that. And I think definitely with them being able to do commercials and everything, I don't see any harm in that.
Controversial question here for our students at least. Team dodgeball or sprout ball?
I'm team dodgeball.
Okay.
Yep.
You prefer that over sprout ball?
Yep, 100% dodgeball over sprout ball. Yep.
Okay. And I know you do all three of these, but you can only pick one. Snowboarding, skiing, or water skiing?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I would go with skiing. Yep. Okay. I think I'd go with skiing. I think it's more fun than snowboarding. Even though I'm better at snowboarding, I would go with skiing.
Okay. And snow skiing as opposed to water skiing?
Yeah,
okay,
skiing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Last question. I know you like movies. You mentioned you're a big comedy fan. What movie never fails to make you laugh? Like you can just watch it and it just cracks you up every time.
One that makes me laugh every time, either Dodgeball, Step Brothers. Okay. Yep. And then Elf. I think Will Ferrell I really like. Yep.
Yeah, well, Step Brothers there, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's good. Good. Well, those are great answers. Well, thank you. Thanks for your time here today, and hopefully you all got to get a little bit better sense of Sam and who he is in his background. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.